I
We're
don't
not
even
live yet. Now we're live.
AFR episode. I don't even know anymore.
77.
Episode 77. Chase across the pond, getting full access to become an official co-host of After Further Review. Chase, how's it feel to have some power over there?
Feels good. Feels good to get a peek behind the scenes and know what it's been like for you guys for most of this past year. But it's fun. I'm excited. Brings a new chapter to the show. How are you guys doing?
Good. I appreciate you doing that, Chase, because you have the background for some of that stuff. So that might be a nice addition to see what we can bring to the table and what we can bring to everyone for something new.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we're officially live, episode 77. We're on Instagram and YouTube. Ben's got Instagram up, got the comments for YouTube up, started having them flow in. But I'm pretty sure we're about to get right after.
Yeah, let's get right after it. I mean, I think we'll dive in quick to some fantasy football. And then, Ryan, you have an NFL game, I think, after that to go off of that. And then we'll do a little MLB update and with some NASCAR.
Yeah, touch on some NASCAR too.
Yeah. So let's get into fantasy football. It's that time of year, but we also have a big draft coming up this Saturday.
14-team league.
14-team PPR league. Full PPR, unfortunately.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of half-point PPR. But, you get those like 10-catch, 40-yard games.
Oh, yeah. And the guy who advocated for full PPR isn't even in the league anymore.
Oh, you need to do a revote. Well, next time. Maybe next year we'll do a revote.
PPR.
Yeah. But I don't know if
okay, I'm just now. If you get a guy who catches a screen pass, he should not get a point. He didn't do anything.
That's like Austin Eckler and those guys.
The running backs, it's fine. I get it. Yeah. But I'm talking about like a straight Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb screen pass where he's got like three people blocking and he's going to get a half a yard still.
Like Jarvis Landry used to do a lot of that. Like 7 for like 40 or something.
Yeah.
Some random stats like that. And then it's still on a bad day.
Yes. I will say in a 14-person league, points are hard to come by.
But sometimes.
Full point PPR is trash.
Yeah. So who you guys looking at anyone in particular in that top echelon of people that you're like really excited about, hoping you get? I know we're in the same league, so we don't want to maybe give away too many secrets, but
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay. I think this year's a little weird just because of how many guys were coming off of injuries and how many guys are injury prone. Like it's a little bit different compared to the last few years. When you pull up the top 10, top 15 people, I feel like to me, it seems like it's changed a little bit, and it really makes or breaks your team this year if you hit on a guy or if you take a guy and he's injured early on. It's going to tank your team.
Yeah, I could see like those top 10, like at least 3 or 4 of those guys going down, and it's a matter of
it'll happen.
Yeah, like you got McCaffrey's been injury prone, Barkley's been injury prone, Jonathan Taylor's coming off an injury. Same with Chase. You got a bunch of guys like Chase said coming off injury.
Yeah.
But there's some exciting prospects too with Burrow back, seeing what Jamar Chase can do. Amon-Ra St. Brown just seems like he just keeps going up, and Breece Hall's. I love the Jets, but he feels so high to me.
Yeah.
A healthy Rodgers and a good quarterback back there is going to change that offense, but that's a lot to rely on.
Yeah. That's interesting, especially because I would say fantasy-wise, are you guys more willing to pick players from your favorite team, or will you take a step back from that?
I can go first. I feel like I'm pretty homer / pick the old reliable, so I'll tend to pick like
Adam Thielen.
I'll basically end up picking like my team will probably be like the oldest team in the league, and I'll have 3 players on there I maybe shouldn't have had, but they're, a Cowboy, maybe an Eagle that I'll draft because I like the player and, it's a homer pick. So definitely, I don't know how you guys are. I'm pretty bad with that. I steer clear of basically any type of rookie because I don't know anything about them. So yeah, Adam Thielen, Cooper Kupp, Nick Chubb's gonna drop this year. I know he's injured for the first couple of weeks, but any type of those old reliable players, I'll gobble up easily. I will say the only time I ever won fantasy football was because I snagged Adrian Peterson coming off of his really bad knee injury that he borderline won MVP the next season. So it worked once for me 10 years ago.
There you go.
Yeah, it's definitely not impossible but it's risky.
Yeah. But I missed last year. I remember Chris Olave was a big one you guys hyped up. I
had him.
Yeah, I slept on him. There's players I'm sure that'll happen to me again. So
I'm always a big fan of drafting at least 1 or 2 rookies. It's hard for me to pick the Jets guys because they haven't performed well. I had Breece Hall last year and he was really good, but with the quarterback situation, it was hard for him to perform well. If they're there, I might think about it, but I'm not as homer as Ryan as far as fantasy football. I'd honestly prefer to not have them on my team.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm a little bit more on that too, unless it's works out and they're the best player and it fills the need. But it's already stressful enough watching the Ravens, and if they're having a terrible game and they're not helping me fantasy wise, it's such a double kick to the stomach.
Yeah,
so I'd honestly rather take people from the opposing team, like the Bengals and Steelers and Browns. That way, if they are destroying the Ravens, I'm at least still winning.
Yeah. Well, now
that's intense, Chase. That you would go for other AL East teams.
Oh yeah, and this is because of players like Antonio Brown, Jamar Chase. Yeah, because those guys have consistently forever and maybe always are going to torch the Ravens for just have those games, and I can't do it by not having them. And if I have them, it at least makes it sting less.
Yeah, no, I get that. I mean, you guys might be fighting over Derrick Henry.
Oh yeah, he's easily one of those guys that will.
I was gonna say,
where is he on the list? Where is he on the list?
Mid-20s, I think.
We're looking at ESPN's fantasy football top 300 PPR, mid-20s. Yeah,
I know if it comes down to Marvin Harrison, Drake London, or Derrick Henry, who are right there with each other, Ryan's picking Derrick Henry.
100%.
I will say about the rookies, especially the rookie wide receivers this year, the top 3 that went.
Yeah,
I don't know about Neighbors just because of the Giants situation, but he's still going to put up numbers. But Odunze and Marvin Harrison Jr. especially should easily both be in the top 15 for wide receiver stats this year. I'm not trying to hype them up, but I just think that they're way better of prospects that have been coming out, and they're going to teams that have good quarterbacks that can especially extend the plays too. I mean, Caleb Williams is a rookie, so there's going to be some adjustment periods, but he's done a lot of crazy things in preseason already, and I feel like just the bond that he's going to have with Odunze. Also, they sucked last year, and they only made 4 picks, I think, this year in the draft. So they are high on the guys that they did pick, so I feel like there's a lot more emphasis on those guys. And Marvin Harrison Jr., we all know his dad. His dad was a legend, Hall of Famer, could catch anything and everything that you threw at him. You could throw a golf ball or a peg. It didn't matter. He made it look smooth. And I feel like Marvin Harrison Jr. is even a little bit bigger, I think, and just has all those intangibles that his dad brought to the table.
Yeah. And shout out to a couple guys in the Instagram chat. I got Evan Miller and EJ Hellerman. So appreciate you. He asked who he drafts at the 7 spot.
Yeah. Put you on the spot, Chase. And
kind of depends on the league. I mean, you could go for the stretch there and go like a Saquon and hope for a giant season with the Eagles and see what happens.
Well, honestly, the running backs have been such a problem. We just said it at the top. There's a lot in the top 10 ranked, and all those guys have horrible injury history. So you kind of want to I think, lean players like that, or even just some of the wide receivers, because the top end wide receivers can make up for a lot of deficiencies. Unless you take Stephon Diggs last year and he does absolutely nothing.
Well, yeah, Chase. So Ben said maybe like a Saquon. Who would you take in the 7th spot?
In the 7th spot, it's hard to tell how it shakes out, but AJ Brown being 11 in ESPN, I feel like is them not thinking that Jalen Hurts is going to throw a lot because of Saquon, but I don't know. Passing still a sexy aspect of the game. So I don't know why AJ Brown would take anything less. Also, he got $96 million this offseason. So if you're an Eagles fan, you better be catching passes.
Yeah. Who are you going, Ryan?
In my 7th hole?
7 hole.
I mean, probably Saquon.
Okay.
I mean,
it's hard for like if Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are both still there. Justin Jefferson, the quarterback situation is a little murky. But he's still going to get those numbers. Like, those guys are still going to get the numbers, and it's hard to pass on them too. But like you said, the running back situation, it's tough. So,
I mean, and Instagram's popping right now. Yeah. So Riley Miller's also on, so definitely want to give him a shout out too. Appreciate everyone hopping on to Instagram to get this fantasy football take. But I for one, regardless, 7 spot, I'm taking a running back. Half the running backs RB1s might get injured this year and miss at least a couple weeks, if not the rest of the season. But usually I try to go running back in at least my first pick, sometimes my first 2, because the wide receivers, like you said, I mean, there's a couple rookies and there's plenty of other studs in a passing league and a PPR that I'll wait to take. I mean, if there's absolutely nothing there, but first 2 picks, I try to go running back if possible.
Yeah, and this feels like a time. I know some people start the quarterback train early, but to me,
someone always does.
Someone always does. But this feels like a year where I feel like I can really wait. And I know I always feel like that, but this year, like if I can go down and really wait for Caleb Williams, for example. I waited for Anthony Richardson last year, and he was great until he got injured. Like he's the type of guy.
Great
Caleb Williams, regardless of how the Bears do, he's gonna put up numbers. Like he's gonna put up fantasy numbers.
Yeah, I think he's gonna open a lot of people's eyes this year. And like you said about waiting for a quarterback, I did do 1 draft already, and quarterback was easily the least of my concerns, and it felt like that for a lot of people. Like some people jumped early for Allen, Mahomes, and Jackson, but I just felt like it was an interesting thing because you kept looking at the list and it just kept going and going. And I mean, we added how many more quarterbacks to the league this year? Most of them are going to do pretty well. And it depends on how long some of them are going to get in and get started. But, I would say that quarterback's probably a position you could wait on. I'm interested in the tight ends too, because that's a position where if you have the tight end slot, it'll either be great for you or just kill you all season because there's not always so many great tight ends. Yeah.
Our league doesn't. Our 14-person league, I don't think we have one.
No, we just have and that's why I've been against the tight end. I know some people want it, but for 14 teams, it's really hard. Like that 14th team to find a tight end.
There's 10 tight ends that you can get numbers from. That's it.
It's really hard.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of Go ahead, Chase.
I was just gonna say I was wondering when the top tight ends come off the board this year because of all running backs are a little bit inflated and so wide receivers, but a guy like when does Kelsey come off? When does Mark Andrews come off? When does name the list Kittle? I know he's got injury history, but still he was a monster at points last year when they would give him the ball. And it's gonna be interesting to see where some of these guys go in the draft.
Yeah. Well, looking in the kind of back half of the draft, I'm going to look at kind of the rankings. I don't know if you have any rankings up, Chase, but just looking at the bottom 1 to 200 range, is there anyone that's a sleeper that's really catching your eye, that's someone you think is really, really solid value? And don't say a kicker or defense, Ryan.
No, I will say my worst draft ever was when I think it was.
Was it the Bears defense that was dominant?
In the 5th round. I took the Bears defense in the 5th round one year. That was not my best year. But okay. Another question here on Instagram. Is the 11th round too early for a kicker?
Yes. Always wait till the last round. Always.
I'm gonna say it's not too early.
Always wait till the last round.
That's
my opinion.
There are kickers that can win you games, man.
No.
I think a kicker is more valuable than a defense.
Oh, I agree. Okay, so wait till the second to last round.
So there could, I guess, there's more than 12 rounds, but
probably more than 12 rounds. I always wait till the second to last round of defense. But
Chase, 11th round. Kicker, yes or no?
Yeah, way too early. I mean, come on. And you got to know who the good kickers are because some of them will just get overlooked and passed up, and you can just get a money kicker pretty late. Yeah. But for all the people I'm drafting with, take a kicker super early. Don't wait.
Yeah, I love it. But real quick, my sleeper here is I'm going to go with super late pick if you're looking for someone that's going to be hidden till basically the end of the draft. I'm going to go with Zay Jones. He's on the Cardinals now. Murray's going to be back and healthy. I think their offense is going to be a lot better this year than they were. I don't think Zay Jones is a bad receiver by any means. I think he can be an 8 to 10 catch a game guy, maybe a touchdown every other game or so this season. So Zay Jones is my sleeper.
Just a heads up, I think Zay Jones might be suspended 5 games.
This is why
we gotta double check.
This is why I suck at the paper drafts.
He's suspended 5 games to start the year.
This is how we have to draft on Saturday. I don't have the SSPD next to the guy.
Hold on, let's take the.
I don't even think it says it on here.
Hands down, multiple suspensions. Oh yeah, 5-game ban. Rams all.
Oh my god.
League's personal conduct policy.
But
when he's back after that 5 games, he is eating.
Well, maybe that's why he's down there so far too.
Okay.
Because like Nick Chubb lays down here, but he's gonna miss the first 4, so maybe that's why Zay Jones.
Is where Nick Chubb might be my third.
Zay Jones is at 227 rank, so that's probably why he's down there.
Yeah,
well, that's not a bad pick at 227. You just have to know that going ahead of time.
Yeah,
that's all.
But real quick, we have a bunch of people on. Real quick, I just want to. I think it's a good time to bring up the Eliminator Challenge for anyone. Chase, I don't know if you're able. Ben or Chase,
perfect.
Up and then pop over. So yeah, anyone watching right now, Instagram, YouTube, I know we have a couple people on. This is a free ESPN Eliminator Challenge that AFR is running this year. AFR will be competing just like we did for the March Madness. But you can see right here, if you search AFR Show Pod on the Eliminator Challenge on ESPN, and the password is simply AFR. We're going to do some prizes for the top couple people who win, either like a fun sports card packs of some of your favorite players or teams. AFR merch, you can see right here. I got a little AFR shirt on, maybe a little more pimped out than that. And even if you win and you beat the AFR team and you want to be on the show, we'll have you on for some time, just like
segment or something,
just like we did with Matt Catrocco back in the summertime after we won March Madness. So here's the Eliminator Challenge. We'll keep it up for another minute just in case anyone wants to copy this out and join, but we can get back to the fantasy football talk. Just thought I'd throw it out there.
Yeah, no, good job, Ryan. And just join. It's fun. It's free. And we'll post something on Instagram. So if you, for some reason, don't catch it now, we'll definitely have the link up there. But, it'll be a fun time. And again, it's free. So why not compete?
Yeah.
So, Chase, back to the rankings. Do you have a sleeper?
Yeah, so I don't know where he's listed at. This might be a little bit different rank-wise, but he looks like he's 135th, and it's Pat Freiermuth, my guy from Penn State, been in the league a few years, tight end. Obviously, a little different setup here with 2 new quarterbacks, but Russell Wilson, if he's playing, I feel like he's going to love the fact that Freiermuth is a tank. He's going to be open in the middle. He's just going to be hanging around there, be a nice safety valve for him. A little bit like when Grelson made his way up to Seattle and they had a nice run there. But that would be the guy I'm going for. And same thing if Justin Fields get in. He really went to Cole Kmet a lot when he was healthy. And I feel like they're both just tight end heavy. So he could be a guy that's not really going to pop out tight end wise, especially in a league where it's down tight ends. And he might be a nice little solid sleeper guy late in the round. You're just looking to fill out the roster. A guy with potentially high upside, Pat Freiermuth.
I like it. My pick is, I'm not sure about it, but I'm going to go Trey Benson. That's kind of who I'm looking at. So I think he'll be backing up James Conner. But Trey Benson just has a tremendous amount of potential, and not that Connor's old, but he's got a lot of wear and tear on his body. He was a workhorse in college. He's been kind of a workhorse in the NFL. So I can see Trey Benson just coming in, being really explosive in that offense in Arizona. So he's a guy I'm looking at to potentially draft late in the round who could, if he takes over the starting job, could be a really great fantasy target.
Yeah, Arizona has some high potential. It feels like this year they're going in pretty healthy. Murray, full off season, healthy conditioning and training. So they could be a team that people just because they were so garbage last year don't really think about as a good team going into this year.
Yeah. Yeah, no, hopefully a full year of Kyler Murray too. So
yeah, I think that could be good.
The Cardinals.
No, we'll do I think was it last year we did a over under of every team and then went back.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we came through
and we had some rough
maybe for after hours we'll come up with our parlays and then share them with you next week.
Yeah.
Our NFC and AFC, so we don't go through everything this year.
No, not right now. But I remember last year I was trying to think, and I'm pretty sure they were in like that 5.5, 6.5 range, Arizona. So
it was bad.
Yeah.
So is Jonathan Gannon to their coach?
Yeah. They beat the Eagles last year in Philly and kind of sent the Eagles on a spiral. They were the team.
Yeah, they did. That was a big. Yeah. The Eagles are due for one bad home loss every year. And that was it last year.
Trap game.
There's trap games. If you can find them and bet on them, you can make some serious kachingo, but for sure.
Yeah. So, all right. Should we move over before we leave NFL? I guess Ryan, you had a little game for us.
I have a fun little. Yeah, we can get after it. So I'm gonna run this. It's gonna be a Ben versus Chase best of 3 matchup here. It shouldn't take too long. And essentially here, I can run the sound effects. Nothing too crazy, but it's gonna be 10 total picks for each of you for each round. And I gave Ben the sheet if he wants to keep score for it. But so if you get one right, you're gonna hear this.
Oh, hold on.
And if you get one wrong, you're gonna hear this.
The buzzer's not loading.
Okay, the buzzer's not loading. So it looks like whoever wins the round will just get a ding, and then we'll move on. We don't have to go through every single pick because it's going to go quick.
Oh, that's fine.
It's all right. We don't.
There's the buzzer. You got it.
So, well, Chase, if you want to roll with them, you can. Otherwise, you can wait to the end of the round and give whoever I crown the winner of round 1 a ding. That might be easier too. But it's this simple, right? The 2024 NFL season's about to start. We're obviously talking fantasy football. We have to sports, I feel like, can go behind you real quick in the rearview mirror and you forget about it. But let's just take a little trip down memory lane of 2023 real quick. It's this simple. You guys are going to take turns, rattle off 10 total answers. And
is this round 1 for 10 total answers?
This is round 1, 10 total answers. So you can get 5 guesses each, taking turns. Whoever gets more right wins.
Okay.
It's pretty simple, okay? Are you guys ready for this?
Who goes? It doesn't matter who goes first.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, Ben will go first. So it's the for round 1, we're gonna go for the top 10 QBs in 2023 for total passing yards. Right or wrong, you get 10 guesses. You just gotta name everyone. Doesn't have to be in order. Just name one guy in the top 10.
Mahomes.
Yes.
Are you gonna give us the number or no?
So Chase will Ben. You get a point.
Okay.
Mahomes was 6.
Okay.
Chase.
Okay. I'm gonna go Josh Allen.
Yep, 4. Ben.
Yeah, that's good. I'm gonna go Dak.
Yep, 3. 2-1. No one's missed yet. Chase.
We can do the buzzer at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do Lamar.
Lamar Jackson. Nope.
Oh.
Sorry. Ben.
Oh, it's a delayed ding from like 30 seconds ago.
I'm gonna go Brock Purdy.
Yep, he's number 5. 3-1. Ben's perfect so far. Prescott, Purdy, Mahomes, and Allen all off the board. Chase.
Let's go Justin Herbert.
Nope.
Oh,
Injured for part of the year.
Damn.
Round 7. Ben's still working on a perfect here.
dang! I was.
Oh, I know.
was gonna be my
know.
guess. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Hurts.
Nope.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Round
Tua.
8. Chase, you have a chance. Tua was number 1 last year. Correct. 3-2. It's
All right.
interesting now. Round 9. Ben, you can win it right here.
Okay.
Name any of the guys left in the top 10.
I got my guy locked.
Chase has this guy locked. Thinking about my guy locked.
Total yards.
Total yards. Sam Howell.
No. Chase
Damn.
for the tie.
C.J. Stroud.
Yes, sir. Number 8. So you
God.
guys tied in round 1. The people you missed were Jared Goff was number 2. Jordan Love was number 7. And 9 and 10 was Baker Mayfield and Trevor Lawrence.
Well, you know, on AFR, we don't really talk too highly of Jordan Love anyway. So
No, AFR is not a fan. All right, so you guys get the game. You tied 3-3. Didn't expect that. So this round, Chase, you get to start, and we're just going to go as simple as we did with QBs, but we're going to go running back. Top 10 running backs rushing yards this year. All 10 finished with over 1,000 yards. So keep these guys in mind when you're drafting fantasy.
well,
Oh, man. All right. My first guess off the board is Brees Hall.
No.
Damn.
Injured.
Thought he snuck
I'm
him
gonna
with
go
that.
McCaffrey.
McCaffrey's correct. That's number 1. All right, Chase,
right.
you're already in the hole. Round 3.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's go. Man, I'm blanking hard for running backs last year. Let's just go.
Shot clock's up.
It's one of the Seahawks guys. What's his nuts?
Oh, I know.
From Michigan State.
All right, I'm just going to take that as an answer. There's no Seahawks guy.
Okay.
Ben's up. Round 4 now.
I'm
got,
gonna
Ben?
go Henry.
Henry's number 2. Ben's 2 for 2. He's picked
Damn.
the top 2 guys on the list so far. Chase has thrown
All right.
a goose egg. Round 5.
Josh Jacobs.
No. Clean. Chase is rolling with the goose egg. Ben on round 6. He's so far named the top 2. Can he get another one? Right here.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs is not on the list. Really good guess. Chase, round 7, still open. You're only down 2-0.
How about ETN?
Nope.
All right.
It's 4 for 4 on the goose
James
egg.
Cook.
James Cook is number 4, correct. Ben's hit
Damn.
3 of the top 4. Last guess each. Doesn't really matter.
All right.
Ben has destroyed this round.
Might as well just do Mostert.
He is number 10. You're on the board. You did not get shut out.
Austin Eckler.
And Eckler is not on there. And with
Dang.
round 2, Ben takes the dub.
I'll take it.
On
Dang,
running backs.
nice
He killed
round.
that.
What was some of the ones we missed?
So, Ben with the dub. You missed Kyron Williams was number 3. DeAndre Swift was number 5. James Conner number 6. Najee Harris number 7. Old reliable Joe Mixon at number 8. And David Montgomery at number 9. So whoever guessed Gibbs, Ben, I think you got the wrong line.
Gibbs.
All right, so Ben, you dominated there. So last round, I'm going to let Chase go first again here. I feel like he needs it. He had the late comeback in round 1 to tie you. You dominated round 2. So receiving yards, top 10, 2023, Chase. Can you do it in the rubber match to even up the series?
All right. Puka.
Yes. He's number 4.
Kelsey.
No.
Cheetah.
Yes, number 1.
Bang.
Waddle.
No.
Oh boy.
Oh my gosh, we have a flip. We have a complete
AJ Brown.
flip. Yep, he's number 5. Chase going for the perfect.
Oh boy.
Fill some
St.
room.
Brown, Amra.
Yep, number 3.
Okay. CD.
Yes, he's number 2.
That was my next one.
3 guesses left. 2 for Ben, 1 for Chase.
I already lost anyway.
Yeah, Ben already lost. Just to round it out, throw a name out there.
Devontae Adams.
Nope. Chase, can you go 5 for 5?
Ayuk.
Yes, sir. Number 7.
Dang, that's a good one.
Let's go, Chase. You guys
I had to make up for
tied.
that god awful running back round.
I got one more
Oh,
guess.
yeah. Ben gets one more guess. By the way, the Kelsey guess was really bad because I think this was just wide
I didn't know. I thought it was
receivers.
receiving yards.
I did say receiving yards.
Oh.
No, well, yeah, I'm not seeing. Yeah, there's no. Oh, no. There are tight ends in the list. Okay, so
Okay.
that was a
Okay.
fun guess.
All right.
Stephon Diggs.
No.
Okay.
So 5-1. You missed. So you named the top 5 guys. You missed DJ Moore at 6.
Oh.
You named Ayuk, Nico Collins at 8, Mike Evans at
Evans
9.
is the
Don't
best.
know how Ben
Mike
missed.
Evans, 10 straight years.
Yeah, and Evans is on my fantasy team last year too.
And also had a monster fantasy last year, Amari Cooper at number 10.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, we tied one, and then we each took a round.
Yeah, and I don't think we want to do like tackles or anything like that. So I think we're just
Chase
going to
would
call it a
destroy.
tie. I think we're going to
Yeah.
call it a 1-1 tie.
All right.
So
I like
That
it.
was fun, Ryan.
I wonder
Yeah,
if anyone playing along, I wonder if anyone knew any that were missed. The wide receivers, you hit the top 5,
Yeah.
but
We did pretty good. I mean, we got 6 of the quarterbacks. We
Yeah.
got 4 of the running backs, and then 6 of the wide receivers. So.
and running backs are harder because I mean they get injured and stuff. I think Brees Hall was like number 11 or 12. I think you guys guessed him.
Yeah.
So.
Brees Hall had a couple of
Yeah.
games where he was like 18 for like 40. I remember he just got because they had no quarterback and they were just stacking the box.
True.
Chase, great round on the wide receivers though, 5 for 5. So
All
Yeah,
right.
it's quite
but we're
So, yeah, I guess we can move on from NFL, do a quick MLB update, and finish off with a NASCAR update. Is there anything in particular you guys were thinking MLB? I know Mets. Mets are in a weird spot. They've been doing okay, but the Diamondbacks, Padres, and Braves just keep winning.
Yeah.
Just keep winning. And the Mets took 2 out of – no, they split the series with the Padres, and they beat the Diamondbacks last night. Hopefully they can win again, but – the friggin' Braves just won't stop winning, and they have their whole rosters injured, and they keep winning. It's annoying.
It is really annoying, and it's annoying because I feel like this could be the year that if they somehow run into the Phillies in the playoffs, they could get their revenge out of the last 2 seasons. And the last thing I want to do is lose to the Braves, let alone the freaking injured Braves. So I would prefer them not make the playoffs, Ben. So if the Mets can.
I'm in.
When do they play? Because I know the Phillies have a big series against the Braves this weekend.
Well, the Mets have this is a big couple of weeks. They had the Padres for 4, and then the Diamondbacks are on for 3. They just beat them last night, and then after that they get to play the White Sox, which they have to sweep. They got to sweep the White Sox.
Yeah,
I think they play the Braves in September. I got to check on that though. That'll be a big series for sure for them. They're going to most likely lose 2 out of 3 is usually what the Mets do.
Yeah. It's really annoying that the Braves have been able to keep it going, and it's mostly because of Chris Sale just being dominant White Sox Chris Sale, and no one expected that at all. But I feel like they've been able to have him be steady at the top.
Yeah, I will say the Mets are looking at their schedule. They have a stretch. They play the Phillies September 13th, 14th, 15th, then the Nats, and then right after the Nats, they play the Phillies again for 4. So they have a 11-game span where they play 11-game span where they play the Phillies 8 times in those 11 games, and then right after that they play the Braves for 3.
Yeah.
So it's September. That September's it's gonna come.
This has been fun. I know it's easy to say when the Phillies are winning the division.
Yeah. Anyway,
but it's been a very
been coasting all year.
Okay, but besides the White Sox who have lost on purpose, every team has been semi-competitive, and the wild cards with the extra spot especially are just wide open. I mean, the AL East division race has been awesome with the Orioles and Yankees going back and forth.
The AL Central,
the Royals have I thought they were. Who thought they were going to drop off in June, July, August? They keep winning. They keep
their
winning.
Rotation's good. We talked about Cole Reagans. That trade that they made at the deadline last year, traded Aroldis Chapman to the Rangers, worked out for the Rangers, but they got Cole Reagans. He's been fantastic. They under the radar Seth Lugo signing. And you got the Guardians, the Royals, and the Twins all within 3 games of each other for that top spot.
And Ben bet on the Tigers to win the division.
The Tigers haven't even been bad. They're 2 games or a game or 2 over 500. They got Therese Skubal, who is potentially the Cy Young.
A normal ALC Central year, and they would have a shot.
And that's why I bet on them, because I thought their rotation would be really good. I didn't know Torkelson would be as bad as he was, and Javi Baez would just
they finally packaged them up and shipped them out. I think they sent him to Costa Rica or something.
I was gonna say, wait, really? Who took him? If you guys
no one, I just thought they put him on that injured list, and I'm pretty sure they just told him to go away,
back it up,
and never come back.
And like we talked about the Astros too, they've kind of started pulling away in that division, and so.
Oh yeah, even though the Phillies just had their way with them until today, when Taijuan Walker came out of nowhere. I thought we left him in Kansas City.
Yeah, Jordan Alvarez had a nice fantasy day for me. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he did.
3 homers.
Yeah.
We'll see how it plays out.
But I think some of the biggest things, it's weird because normally I'm used to seeing the AL wild card like super stacked and like just in general, but this year the NL wild card is basically you look like in line. Like in previous years, you'll see the AL and the records are like the top 2 AL wild cards are like crazy.
Yeah.
Whereas this year it's kind of like the NL wild cards in line. And I mean, even the NL West, because of how good since the All-Star break, the Padres and Diamondbacks have been, which the Diamondbacks were like in the same position as the Mets, and they have just turned it around.
I mean, legitimately, every division, I think the top 3 teams have a shot, essentially. Except the Central, which is they're all consistent, but they're all consistently just not good enough. But it's just wild, the competitiveness. But the teams that are bad, like the Nationals, have been super competitive this year. We said give the A's some props. They won some more games than we thought they would. Like no series besides the White Sox has been a gimme, and it's been fun.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's been a fun.
And it's not even September. Like I haven't been again. The Phillies are great but they've been good the last 2 years. It's not even September yet, and I'm like holy shit, this has been exciting baseball.
Well, it's exciting when you know you're going to make the playoffs. As a Mets fan, I'm just shitting my pants every 2 minutes because I just want to get in the playoffs. But we just keep taking 2 steps back. So,
but unless anyone has any more MLB takes, we could move on to NASCAR because we actually just got a NASCAR question in our chat, Chase. EJ Hellerman asks, is Bubba Wallace going to make the playoffs? So we talked about which MLB teams are going to make the playoffs. The Mets will.
Oof.
So, but will Bubba Wallace make the playoffs in NASCAR?
Let's take a dive in on this. And I actually have the NASCAR.
Did he win one yet?
He's not won one.
I actually found was like Kyle Busch won last week.
No, Kyle Busch almost won, but he forgot what he was doing and half blacked out going towards the line and gave up the win to Harrison Burton, who was dead last in points. Now let's run this back 2 weeks. We know that Austin Dillon did a illegal move, right? And we said that there was going to be some things that happen. Anyways, he is allowed to keep that win, but he doesn't qualify for the playoffs, right? So that week they had the 32nd ranked driver win. Last week at Daytona 500, Harrison Burton hasn't won anything. I don't even think he wins like pouring cereal into his bowl, but he gets the win at Daytona, first career win, and now he's locked in the playoffs. He was 30 seconds, and again, jump Bubba Wallace. This has been at least a month straight where somebody who was dead last in points or about to make the cutoff line has jumped Bubba Wallace. And where he's at right now.
Can you
keep going? I'll let you finish your thought.
Let me
So just trying to unpack this. AJ Dillon, because of the move he made, is disqualified from the
Has
playoffs.
that ever happened before?
I can't think of anything.
Ben and I were kind of in for it, and
that seems a little harsh. No, I don't know.
I mean, I feel like it could have been worse, and I feel like that was NASCAR's thing, was that like he could have legitimately taken out the entire field, and it would have been it just would have been bad for that. Oh man, I'm trying to share the screen. Hold on. But I don't think it was the worst thing in the world that that they did that to him. I mean, they still gave him the win, and it counts for that. But I don't think that he should have been qualified for the playoffs. Not only that, he was 30 seconds in the points. He's been dog shit most of this year, and I'm like kind of tired of seeing guys who don't really deserve to be in the playoffs be in the playoffs. It's like taking away a good spot. But for Bubba Wallace, points wise, right now,
quick,
yeah. So
just the AJ Dillon thing, EJ Hellerman says is the first time in modern NASCAR someone has been removed from the playoffs like that. And he also believes it's deserved. So he's kind of on Ben and I's side. Chase, I forget where you ultimately stood on that, but that's
yeah.
so he was last.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you're on the same page. Okay. Sorry.
And he took out two people who were squarely contending not only in the playoffs but for a championship. And I know that those points don't necessarily count right now, but I mean, you took away a win from Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin that both realistically deserve that because of strategy to that point in the race. So, you know, it is what it is. It's over with. And I think it's hilarious that 2 weeks in a row we've had somebody who's dead last in points get a win. Like,
That's insane.
between the Dillon thing and obviously it's 3 weeks now, but since the last time we were on, that was the case. And, Harrison Burton also doesn't have a ride for next year. He's essentially going to become a free agent at the end of the year. And he was dead last in points, no career wins up until last Sunday. And he wins at the biggest stage possible. So that should help him, help his case. And real quick before we jump into the Bob Wallace thing, I just want to make this point about Harrison Burton because his dad does the commentating right now for NBC, and all year he's never really hyped him up or been like, he's just always been like acknowledged the fact that that's his kid. But to see him actually like to be that professional up to this point, and then finally get to see his kid win, and especially at a racetrack where he won at and his uncle won at, so it's a legacy thing was really cool to see. That was like a really touching moment that he got to share that because, if Harrison doesn't make it back to the Cup Series next year, he'd have to wait, and who knows where the trajectory goes. So it doesn't always work out early in a career. I mean, Kyle Larson, Tyler Reddick, they've all had to jump around to different teams before they really found deep-rooted success and been to the point where they're at. So for Harrison Burton, he's still young and it could change, but it was really neat to see him get that moment with his dad in the season that's been really crazy up to this point. But now let's get to the real matter of the business here. Bubba Wallace, who I'm also calling Bubba Walrus from now on, just because he looks like a walrus. He's useless on the track, and he can't get himself in the playoffs. Now, the problem is he is a cool, what is it? I think 16 points out for the month, 21 points out from the playoffs. So really, he should just go out and get the win this week because he's been dancing around and he's been fluctuating between the cut line, and I don't know where he would have to finish at for this race to lock himself in or what all kind of craziness needs to go on. But early wreck, like last weekend, there were so many cars that wrecked. It just kind of changed the whole playoff picture, and it pushed, Chris Buescher in, I'm pretty sure. It pushed him above the cut line, and Ross Chastain, who was also battling Bubba Wallace, it pushed him down because he didn't even finish the race. So an early wreck at Darlington, and this is the last race before the playoffs start. So this is why it's really so meaningful for Bubba Wallace, is because if he doesn't get it together, he's out after this race. And for his teammate Tyler Reddick to be dominating the way he is, lead the season points, not playoff points, but for season points, it's the first time he's ever been leading. Really dominant. Would have been again this past weekend, but I don't think Bubba Wallace makes it, mostly because I don't want him to, but I just think that something's going to come up, and he just doesn't seem to show that he's resilient enough. There's been far too many times this year where he's complained about his car, ripped his team at the end. But like, it just never seems like it's good enough, and I think that's what's going to ultimately keep him out. I think that they can go out there, give him a great strategy, give him all the things he needs, but he just always comes up with some reason why it didn't work out. And I think again he's gonna lock himself out. But I mean, all those guys who are right now at the bottom of that list for the playoffs too could just get a win and completely take him out.
I mean, it's happened now. So I'm guessing AJ Dillon's at the bottom because he's just that is crazy.
That is
First
crazy.
off,
Yeah,
but he was
Dillon,
in last.
God, he is
Harrison Burton was last. So I mean,
Austin
like
Dillon, I feel like if his grandfather didn't own the team, he would be pulling the tires to the car every Sunday instead of driving the car. Like, he doesn't seem good at all. And I get it. Look, 10 years ago, he won the Xfinity Series, he won the Truck Series, he won a lot, but he is dog shit in NASCAR.
I'm still waiting for Kyle Busch to get a dub.
Yeah, and listen, that's 20 years straight where he has a win, so he looked like he was going to end that streak last week, but he's due. If anyone's due to get a win at the bell, it's Kyle Busch.
Is that might be a play? How many races are left, Chase?
This is the last before the playoffs start. So this is the last little scramble for these guys in the red.
Well, no, because he can
locks after this week.
No.
So but Busch will still be racing after this week, right?
Oh yeah, all these guys will still race, but they just won't be in the playoffs to get a championship. Like the season's still gonna go.
So Kyle Busch can still get a win this season, even if it's not.
Yeah, it'll still go towards his record, but I do want to see him in the playoffs too. And I feel like a win would just lock him in, obviously. Yeah.
Okay.
And it would just check off so many more boxes to get it this week. I don't know what his odds are for this weekend, but it would actually be pretty interesting to see what the odds are.
That guy will get on it super quick for you guys. What is the race this week, Chase?
It's at Darlington.
Okay.
All right, so our boy Christopher Bell looks like he's plus 1,600
for this week.
I don't know. It's a weird FanDuel thing. Wait, this is from May. What the hell? Come
on. But yeah, we can look it up and we'll find out somehow. So.
What a wild the MLB season is going to be a wild ending. NASCAR this weekend. I mean, I'm sure a ton of people, especially because Chase. I mean,
is it the Cookout Southern 500? Sorry.
Yeah.
Or no. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the Cookout Southern 500.
Kyle Larson's favored. Yeah, I see. Christopher Bell's plus 1,600.
So, but Chase, the biggest thing
plus 2,400.
Plus 2,400.
I'm easily, just because I want it to happen, I'm going to put a unit on Kyle Busch this weekend. I believe it. He might close it Daytona. I'm going for it. I feel like his car, his team, they've been getting better and better. Stupid Austin Dillon, his dumb teammate, got to win. So I feel like Kyle Busch is 10 times better of a driver for him. Has like 17 times the amount of wins. He's due. 20 years straight.
I like it.
I'll mark it down, Chase. I respect it. First AFR pick in a while. And I will say, I know it's bittersweet, Chase, and the playoffs haven't even started yet for NASCAR, but this weekend I also feel like not only is there going to be a ton of people watching because it's the last regular season race, but, I mean, we all know here once football starts, NASCAR takes a huge hit in ratings. And so, I mean, hopefully a lot of people, especially on a Labor Day weekend, get to enjoy this race in Darlington.
Yeah.
And we just have one more comment as we wrap up our NASCAR segment that Austin Dillon is absolute garbage, which is exactly to Chase's point. So guess we're no longer well, I wasn't an Austin Dillon fan. I was like kind of okay with what he did. I'm gonna like just take all of that back and
I've like always just not felt like he was that special of a driver. Like he just never really felt like it. I don't know. And this was back even before I jumped out the first time on NASCAR. So his dumb career's expanded me jumping out twice on a sport, which is great career longevity, but God, he has like 4 wins, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
all right, well, I think we'll end it there.
do you want to real quick one
Yeah.
more time, just for anyone who wouldn't hop on, share the Eliminator Challenge again? You have until week 1 of the NFL, so next Thursday, September 4th. Once that 8 p.m. game starts, you can't. But sorry, any last words you can, or points you guys wanted to make about the show? But I just wanted to throw this up here one more time for anyone watching, in case they wanted to join.
Yeah. No, again, if you haven't already, we're hosting the Eliminator Challenge prizes. You guys can win merch. We'll do sports cards, lots of cool stuff. So you can be on the podcast. So enter, it's free. There's all the info you need. And any other questions, shoot us a DM on Insta or something. So all right.
This was a really fun show. Love the engagement on Instagram. EJ Hellerman, Evan Miller, Riley Miller, all the people on YouTube. I know you didn't comment, but shout out to you guys for all hopping on, watching, whether you're through our AFR Show Pod channel, through our sister channel for the Fun of the Hobby. Shout out to all you sports cards lovers out there. We didn't do any sports cards take this week. No. Maybe Ben will have one in the future. But yeah, to YouTube, Instagram, all of our AFR friends, family, followers out there, we appreciate you hopping on and giving us some love this week. We will be back on regular time next week, Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll try to throw some reminders out on our socials. If you missed the beginning of our show, it'll be up on Spotify later this week, Apple Podcasts, however you get your podcast. But for episode 77 of After Further Review, Ben, Ryan, and Chase are out. See you guys next week.
See ya.
Peace.